And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It would be Friday. It is March 27th. It is 2026. I have no good news. Well, I take that back. I have no good news on the markets to tell you, but maybe some good news at the airports where I have to say I was prescient. Big word from your host on that. But we have lots to cover. Markets worsened. We'll explain our thoughts. We'll describe the markets. Hopefully you have been listening. We have been walking you through the roadmap of bearish markets and downtrends and all that crap. We'll cover it big time. But first, this is serious talk on you and everything that affects you. The markets, the economy, war, tariffs, scams and shams and corruption. Whatever the heck happens that affects you. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. Also on our X feed. And if you don't follow us on X, you should. Just put our name in. And if you like to email us, just be nice. Be nice, be respectful. Disagree all you want, and I'm going to retort back respectfully. That's all. Unless you're not so respectful. Then maybe I'll throw a couple of things at you. We'll also put it on the BizTV YouTube channel. So I think it was Monday on this show where I said, or maybe Tuesday, I don't understand any of this TSA crap. How are they not being paid? That's what I said. And I went on to say, just do one of the Trump executive orders. You're spending $7.5 trillion this year. You're going to run $2.5 trillion in deficit. Just do one of you're the king of executive orders. Just do an executive order on paying TSA. Well, they went through all these motions and back and forth with the Dems and the Republicans blame the Dems, the Dems blame the Republicans, and the Dems put something out, the Republicans put something out, the Dems put something out, the Republicans at the last minute said, screw this. Guess what the president just did in the last hour? He signed an executive order to pay off the TSA people, including back pay, as soon as possible. Boy, he should be listening to this show. Seriously. So I gather we'll be getting some relief here, finally. My motto on both parties continues. They all suck. 39 trillion of debt says so. I'm not going to say another word about them. Next, we did not give out any basketball picks last night, but we did say something about Arizona and the money line. But that they're one of the top teams, and they just rolled the other team. And I may have said Purdue also, and I got to tell you, Purdue did not cover. Texas gave them one hell of a game, and Purdue wins on a tip-in at the end with like a second left. It was a very good game. Anyway, that's on that. I don't think I have time. I had no time today to even look at the basketball, so we will do the final 8 next week. So good on the president. Late breaking news, Tiger Woods had a rollover crash down in Jupiter. Supposedly he's okay. Let's hope that's correct. This would be, what happened, the one in California. And by the way, as I said, that stretch in California, I know that stretch. You go too fast on that one, and that's exactly what happened. Okay. So, the Dow was down 792, S&P 108, NASDAQ 459, NASDAQ 100 454, the SOX 128, transports almost 200. Advanced declines sucked. More than almost 4-to-1 negative on the NASDAQ. New highs hardly any except oils. New lows picked up. Gold bounced pretty good today. And write this number down on gold. The GLD, which is the ETF, 400. I'm contemplating whether that's going to be a firm low. I'm not sure just yet. But for the rest of the market, we hope you've been listening. What we try to do here at all times is tell a story of what's leading, what's lagging, what's topping, what's bottoming, what's going by the wayside, and getting in big trouble. And we always tell you when we see something topping, same line every time, we have no idea how bad it's going to get or how far it's going to go. But there is a specific roadmap, a physicality that you can plot on a sheet of paper what bear markets look like. They have to run the same way every time with little squiggles and wiggles here and there. They top out, they break the 50-day moving average. They can't get back above. They build a support level underneath the 50 and then they break that. Then the 50-day starts rolling down the side and all bounces into the 50-day failed. And then you go through the process. And if you remember, November 4th, it started with the software. It went to the crypto the same day. They've been kind of moving hand in hand. For a year or so, we were talking about payroll companies. For a year or so, we've been talking managed care, United Health, and all that crap. For a very long while, housing and housing related. And we've been going one by one, and we use the same terminology anytime. Every time. We're not telling you to buy, sell, short, or cover, but we're letting you know we think this is an avoid here. And if things worsen, we tell you. Remember with the crypto, we said to you back a while back with crypto that between mid-November and mid-January, after a big drop, it made a right turn and went flat. And we said to you that defines a bearish flag. You turn the flag over and then you break below it. And we simply said to you, if that gets taken out, it's going to invite selling. And soon as it got taken out, the IBIT, one of the ETFs, went from 47 to 35 before you can say boo. And guess what it's doing again now? You bottomed at 35, you bounced up a little bit here or there, you were just 42, you're now at 37, and now you're in a bear flag again. And if crypto, Bitcoin, whatever, Ethereum breaks that bear flag, it will invite even more selling. And as the market worsened, we were saying to you very simply, oh man, our left screen of lesser tech, brutal bear markets, software, brutal bear markets. We even were saying to you, we were stunned about Oracle and how far it went down, even though they were telling us about $500 billion in backlog. And then we're finding out massive debt and all that crap and trouble. And then, and you all know about the restaurants, the financials. We've been harping on, especially the private equity credit stuff that has been smeared. We've been warning you about the credit cards, MasterCard, Visa, American Express, Capital One, Synchrony Financial. We've been warning about a ton of the retail. How about the medicals? We've been harping on just a lot of avoids. And we say to you, let's simplify. If only 100 stocks were in the market and 100 stocks were in an uptrend, you're in an uptrend. But if it turns into 75 up, 25 in downtrends, well, you got some headwinds, and you better be in the right stuff. And then it goes 50-50. Well, uh-oh. And then 25-70. Well, guess what? That's what's been going on. It's been worsening. And it got to the point where finally it affected the major indices. The Dow, S&P, NASDAQ 100. So the Dow broke the 50-day on February 27th. That's the day we said to you, hey, we're just letting you know. The S&P was hovering around that 50-day, around that time. The NASDAQ and NASDAQ 100 were living below it. But as we tell you, that's not the end of the world if it does that, except if it builds an area support and then breaks below it. That's where trouble comes. Well, guess what? That happened last Friday. Some worse than others. In the Dow, that happened March 6th. In the S&P, let's call it March 13th. Up next, we'll keep walking you through because today was ew. This is the one only Investor's Edge. So it worsened today, duh. We broke the 200-day moving average a few days ago. Now let me define some things for you. These moving averages are just simply areas that matter. Throughout history, their physicality matters. The optics matter. A break below the 50-day, we always say to you, nothing good can happen if you break below the 50-day. But it doesn't mean bad. You can break below and get right back above, and all that is the last 50 days. Add them all up, the closes, divide by 50, and you get a smoothed out line versus the wiggles and squiggles. The 200-day moving average is farther below it. A break below there is more long-term consequence. And nothing good happens below the 200-day. And only bad can happen if you stay below it. And now you have the major indices broke below it last Friday and could not get back above it. And today was another putrid day. I don't know what else to tell you. Now the 50-day moving average is turning down. And where it stops, we don't know. Just remember, we have no clue how far it goes, how long it goes. We don't. All we can do right now is know there is a process that is bearish right now, and you'd better be careful, and you better not listen to the pundits that are being paraded out there telling you, I bought this morning, I bought today, it's cheap, it's a great value. I got news for you. The only valid thingy to listen to is the market, because Wall Street is a bullish entity. You got to remember that. It's a bullish entity. And for some people, it's a political entity. If they're Trumpians, they don't dare say anything's bad or bear market. Everything's going to be fine. And of course, when Biden was the president, well, blah, 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 blah. So it's political also. You got to be careful. We're just letting you know it worsened today. That's all. Except oils. Oil prices up almost to $100 today. Except for, I have to tell you, we have this list. Sienna up 13 today, Light up 11 today, Sandisk up 12 today, with the NASDAQ down 460. So that group still has, and by the way, they got hit hard yesterday, but you already see them just trying right here. And we'll let you know, because at this point in time, our job is consistently and constantly what's holding up best. And frankly, when the NASDAQ's down 460 and something's up 13 and another's up 11, another's up 11, we're going to notice that. Doesn't mean they don't get them next week, but that was an interesting thing. What else happening? The all-important semis. They've been now living below the 50-day, not just go below and everything's fine. They're living there for the last 3 to 4 weeks, and that worsened today for the most part. You know what else happened today? We have been harping on NVIDIA. Don't break 170. Don't break 170. It broke 170 today. Not good news. With a proviso. You walk in Monday and it has a great day and gets back above, okay. But add the close today, not good. Now, the number one question I'm getting asked, and it's the most important question, is isn't this just all the war? Isn't this just all oil prices spiking, the fertilizer spiking, some other commodities spiking, confidence waning, a big intangible? Isn't that what's going on for the most part? I'm going to say, yeah, the most part, but not the whole part. Because there was a lot of areas that were weak before all this happened. We had a 0.7% GDP before all this happened. You had productivity dropping before all this happened. You had inflation picking up before all this happened. And of course, the credit industry before all this happened. So I do believe there's a component other than the war that's doing this, but leave no doubt, one hell of a component is oil prices at 100, and you see what's going on at the pump now. I paid $4.39 for gas today, the middle gas. I believe I paid $3.29 4 or 5 weeks ago. I have news for you. For the average person, that's a lot of cake. And that's not good news. Of course, then there's the intangible of confidence. Confidence. The worry. Are we on top of things? That's part of it. Just remember, intangibles matter. Confidence matters. There's a lot of things that the market takes into account at all times. And I can tell you right now, confidence, I give it a 2 out of 10. I'm not so sure it's not a 1. And that is not a political statement. It is a factual statement. Where are we on the war? Well, they were trying to sell us all day that everything's great. The market's not listening to them anymore, unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately, I don't know. Just remember, there's so many times, what have we said to you on this show? One of the things you teach your children is don't lie, because eventually, you're going to get a reputation for it, and then you're not going to be believed. That's what's happening here. You can't every day say we're winning the war, everything's great, everything's fabulous, we got this, we got that. In 2 days I'm going to destroy them. Oh, we're changing it to 5 days. Oh, wait a minute, we're going to change it to 10 days. Oh, no, we're going to change it to 30 days. Oh, no, we're going to destroy them next week. If I had their ear, shut up. They've lost all credibility, unfortunately. They really have. And all day today they were saying, oh, everything's good. Negotiations are good. We're winning is good. Good. Well, guess what? Oil prices up $5.50 today to 100. The Dow drops 800, NASDAQ 460. No, everything's not good. But the TSA is going to get better, hopefully very soon. We're just being real, ladies and gentlemen. We're just being real. Up next, what else we seeing? I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. Hey, yo. Update. They're saying the Tiger Woods crash was 2 cars. One vehicle was a rollover. One person is stable. The other refused to go to the hospital. So that's good news as of right now. That's good news. Let me give you... let me give you what I believe could be good news. It's a prediction. It's a prediction from me. I don't like predicting, but every now and then I feel extremes. I'm going to guess. You listening? The political pain is now getting to the excruciating point. The political pain. I don't know if you know this, but the Republicans have lost a ton of elections. this week. They've lost all these elections. In the president's district, where Mar-a-Lago is, they lost a state Senate seat. Mayor of Miami is now a Democrat. The list is big. Another retirement in the Republican House from somebody that was going to run again. Anyway, a prediction. I think it's now becoming excruciatingly politically painful. And I'm going to guess something's going to give. To what extent, I don't know. I think something's got to give before Monday. And any deal would be Iran opening up that strait. It's just a pretty good feeling that I have. I get it from their desperation today. And I don't think that is hyperbole. The amount of yapping from this administration, from the president on down, just doesn't stop all day. And of course they're doing it because of the markets are getting crushed and oil keeps going up. I think there will be Iran meetings this week. Meetings going on right now. They're going great. Peace talks at hand. The play-by-play, it's like Pat Summerall and John Madden. All day today. I would not be surprised, sooner rather than later, both sides take the win and come to some happy. That's a guess. Or maybe wishful thinking. Or wishful thinking. "15 times today from the administration, Trump wants a peace deal." No blank, Sherlock. You think? And we'll see how the weekend goes. All we can tell you, it worsened today. The big indices deeper into the drop. What happens if we come back and some peace deal occurs over the weekend? Gap up. But I think there's a lot of things that have to be ironed out also. And I will tell you amazingly, all we hear from our side is we want peace deal. You know what the Iranians say? Up yours. It's not what you think in war, it's what the other people think in war. Back on sectors, obviously oils. Gold had a strong day today, and again, GLD at 400, write that number down. You had a little bit of green today in some commodity names. Coal was up. You had some green today in some consumer staple stuff, defensive. The rest of my screens are a sea of red, except for I said SanDisk, Lumentum, which is LITE, Sienna, CIEN, Corning was up. So you had some of those. But again, they got smoked yesterday. We just want you to remember things were pretty getting bearish before all this occurred. But I don't think it would have been this bad if it did not occur. But I do have to cover one of the other major league calls we did for you, those big mega cap tech names. Smoked again today. In fact, Amazon may be breaking down out of a bear flag now. Broadcom is getting close. Apple, we'll see. Google did it yesterday. Meta down another $22 today. Do you know it's down $70 in the last 2 days? And that is off I guess they lost that thing in courts. Tesla down another 11 today. Just deepening in their bearish phases. The mega caps. And just remember, they were already bearish, a lot of these before the war. And then the software. Holy crap. They crammed the software security stocks again today. We keep hearing the news is artificial intelligence is going to do this, that, and the other thing to the software companies. Beats the heck out of me. And then the consumer stocks, restaurants, real bad action. Airlines for obvious reasons. Cruise lines for obvious reasons. Hotels for obvious reasons. Travel related, not good. And even defense stocks starting to get a little toppy in here. And then there's things like Eli Lilly, big top in place. Even though we're told they're the end-all be-all of that, obesity drug. I think it's called competition. So I wish I had something redeeming to tell you. We still have our list of leading stocks. We mentioned a couple, but I got news for you. If things worsen, they'll get them. They'll get them. They knocked a few out in the last few days. They hit the equipment semiconductors. Taiwan Semi, Micron below the 50. Seagate below the 50-day. Remember, that doesn't mean the end of the world, but you don't want to see that. Because it potentially starts a process. And you know what that process is. What else? Important in bearish phases. And by the way, forget the indices. There are a bunch of sectors that are down 25, 30 already. We hope you have been listening. It is some areas miserable. Miserable drops. If I told you that ADP would go from 330 to 200 and paychecks from 160 to 91, those are some significant drops for payroll companies. If I told you Ford just went from 15 to 11 and change in a matter of 4 weeks, a lot of this going on. Up next, I'll think of something. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. All right, let's see. The weekend's here. Next Friday is Good Friday. We will be off. I think I'm flying up the Northeast Thursday through Sunday. Yeah, that's a little bit of the schedule. We did a little story on this annuity thing with you. Let me tell you, it's not a final outcome. The annuity company was bought out 3 times. Nobody can figure out cost basis. Nobody. So the people I told you about they're thinking about calling the IRS and saying, hey, just so you know, we pay our taxes. Let me tell you what's going on. We got this annuity. We inherited it. It's been there for 20 some odd years. They were bought out 3 times, maybe even 4 times bought out. And we can't find cost basis. We've looked everywhere. There's nothing online. No paperwork. What do? Because you're only supposed to pay taxes on not the principal, but the gains. So they're trying to figure it out. I don't want to be in their position. Let's put it that way. It's kind of weird. Boy, oh boy, there's just a lot of funky stuff out there, kids. A lot of funky stuff. Anyway, again, repetitive. The big story. This war is wreaking havoc in the markets, in the oil markets. I do believe, and look, again, with no joy, I believe the boy who cried wolf syndrome is now in effect. In the past, the president would say something about everything's great and would peace in hand and market would rip. They did it all day today. They had the peeps out in droves today. Peace talks. All the president wants is peace, 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 peace. Dow down 800, NASDAQ down 460, and oil prices up. By the way, I'm in the aftermarket looking up $6.20, now above $100. That's again, with no joy. It's the boy who cried wolf syndrome. And just so you know, by the way, I have a new one here from the Witkoff, one of their whatevers. We expect an answer from Iran on the U.S. 15-point plan. Yeah. It's a ridiculous statement because in that 15-point plan, they want Iran to surrender, say they're not going to do this, not going to do that, not going to do this. They're never going to go with that. Well, you know what? Let me try to be positive. Let's hope they go with it. And all online. Here's a quote. They've spammed so much fake news trying to push energy prices down that the market is just numb now. Nobody is buying it anymore. The real prices will show up anyway. Exactly. Exactly. Let's hope they learn some lessons. And you want confusion? You have Rubio out saying, we have no interest in doing anything on the ground. Well, we send 10,000 people there on the ground. So let's hope that crap ain't happening. Now, I got news for you. If that happens, so the bearish phase continues, unless you're in oils and some other sundry areas. We don't know where it ends. Stay out of the mega cap tech. The areas we tell you avoid. No new commitments. Again, we don't tell you to buy, sell, short, or cover. We tell you what we think. And when it's time to avoid, we'll say avoid. Why? You don't buy things in bear markets because you don't know how far down they're going to go. And when an oracle goes from 345 to 139, that's oracle. That's oracle. That's just for starters. Just for starters. The other job now is simple. Is simple. We're going to keep a list of everything that hangs. Bucks the trend. That's what we're going to be doing. And I have news for you. Of that list that we have, there's only been a few lost. And how we know strength? Their relative strength lines versus the rest of the market skyrocket. They go up while the market goes down. So that list of artificial intelligence, optical, data, storage, memory, the building construction of data centers and energy, I think they're still in play. Except they're getting smoked a little bit too now because the market is M in market is the big matzo ball. That's the mallet. That's the headwinds. That's the whack-a-mole. Stock tries to go up. It wants to go up. Whack-a-mole because of the market's weak. Clouds clear. No more whack-a-mole. They get going. Up into the air. So we're keeping that list every day, but we ain't buying yet. We're too nervous. We don't have courage when things are bearish. And at the close today, 860 new yearly lows. And any new yearly high was either oils or commodities. And higher oil, persona non grata. You all have a great weekend. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family, hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Stay well. Hopefully better news next week. Peace out all. Good night.